quite good.
I think
Toxic shape as well.
It's all up in the air for both these players. We're going to get a lot of information right now. The game is starting. Tox versus strenx here in the Group B matches. strenx off the beginning getting the yellow spawn. He's not going to be very happy with that. And now Tox, slight advantage off the beginning. He has got to make the best of it, because otherwise strenx is going to be all over him. And Tox getting off to a good start with this first rail landed immediately.
This is really tough for strenx, obviously. He's got... what I would like him to do is to try not to take fights, really, until the Mega's about to spawn, because he can't die for free before the Mega spawns. He needs to make that a really hard pickup for Toxic. It's all got to be about that, and right now he's preserving his stack, getting ready for that. Oh, very crucial connection there on the rail.
Tox might have to let this red go, to be honest. He's going to go for the Mega, and strenx is getting nicely stacked up. He's got all the important weapons at the moment. And I think that Tox might already have given strenx a bit too much.
That was just well played by strenx. Very well played by him. So I want to slow clap him, but I don't think that's appropriate right now. But right now he's taking his fights where he needs to, and this is a little bit awkward, but he's done great damage. The red is coming up, and it looks like Toxic gets the kill.
Oh, the LG from that was unbelievable. With 54% LG, but off the spawn, strenx is going to be spawning by red. And we get it tied up quick.
Can strenx get this Mega? He's not looking super healthy. Just one stray rocket could be the end of him. And he pushes Toxic back. Good stuff there. Very well played by strenx. Tying it up, and now Toxic is on the back foot. How is strenx going to build this control?
I think he's going to get on the red armor in just a moment, but I feel like if he can hit a rail right now, then Tox will be so weakened. There's the red. Tox has got the information he needs. Let's see how much of a defensive game he can play on Aerowalk. I've been talking to him quite a lot of the event so far, and he said that he's really uncomfortable on Aerowalk and toxicity. So if he can actually make even a close game, I think he's going to be really happy going into the second map, Sinister.
It's very important against strenx to deny him the fights that he wants, the angles that he wants when he's in this kind of a position. Because you need to make him really work for those frags, because once he starts getting on a roll, to be honest, he can be pretty unstoppable. And so Toxic has to try, even though his aim's really good, to not give him any fight that he wants. No open LG battles, no easy rail angles. He has to just keep it really solid and tight and play a really cerebral game against the heavy aim player that is strenx.
Well, when you talk about heavy aim, these are the two. These are the top dogs in aim.
Yeah.
I wonder if they're going to... Okay, they're going to try Showboat over here with the LG. Tox is hitting a lot.
Wow.
I can't believe strenx went down that much. He missed the jump over to the red as well. Can Tox take advantage? The rocket narrowly misses. Oh, there we go. The second one's going to hit, and Tox gets onto the Mega from that. Oh, what a play by Tox. He is hitting like a truck.
He is really hitting like a truck carrying trucks.
Okay.
I don't know. Like, it is pretty crazy. We're all tied up here, and red is coming up. Toxic's got good position for pressure, and he just wants to try to make strenx weak so that strenx's pressure is really weak on this red armor. strenx needs to keep Toxic up here for a long time, and he's not going to do that. He's just going to get one rail and fall back. Mega's coming up now. What's strenx going to do about it?
I think Tox has just got to get in his way at the moment. A couple of seconds left. Tox, is he trying to bait it in a little bit? Well, strenx isn't falling for it, and there's going to be a rail for a rail exchanged.
And Toxic, he's doing what we were talking about earlier. He's trying to take this slower. Obviously, he's hitting ridiculous amounts of shots here, especially with the LG.
Yeah.
And red's coming up again. Whereas strenx for the pressure? Absolutely no pressure from strenx. So strenx also giving a lot of respect at this point to Toxic, not trying to take any fights that he normally would take.
Totally mutual though. We're almost 4 minutes in, and we've only had 4 frags here on Aerowalk. This is very slow for the kind of map this usually is.
So here is the Mega coming up.
Whoa!
Ooh, okay, a bit of grenade damage there, but nothing too serious. strenx, he worked his position around. He doesn't want to take fights, and look, he disappears again. This is perfectly done by strenx. Just completely cutting off as many angles as possible. This pursuit is going to be very dangerous though, and Toxic, does he go in? This is risky for his stack, but he does a good job denying that yellow.
I think if he changed the weapon, he could have actually gotten a kill just then. There's another rail exchange, and Tox is going to hit the next one. He takes the lead here on the first map of this game.
I really feel like strenx played that really well, but it's just Toxic's aim was so steady on the forward play.
Good damage again. strenx is slightly lackluster with the LG for him so far, and I can't usually imagine myself saying that.
Yep, and Toxic, he's very cognizant of the Mega spawning there, didn't overcommit to the fight. He probably could have taken the frag, but he is thinking, nope, I can just get the damage back off onto the Mega and things will be fine. Just keep that control going. Very good map awareness coming out from the Swede.
Oh, the LG again, and strenx can't handle it. He's just got to back off, forfeit the position completely, and just accept that Tox right now is better than him with the LG, which I can sure is difficult for him to do.
Dude, 5 minutes have passed. We're on 3-2 here.
What's going on, DDK? What is going on?
Both of these guys are...
Wow.
Oh, my goodness. These guys are playing this perfectly, basically. Both of them. It's coming down to the aim, but not in the way that you'd think.
Yeah.
They're both making solid defensive plays, not exposing themselves in crazy angles, again, like they normally would, because they have such high respect for the damage output.
I think this is very different Tox to what we usually see. I mean, we haven't been able to see any of him online lately. But usually he doesn't control his defensive play very well, and it's very easy for him to overcommit and just go very aggressive and actually throw a surprising amount of frags away. He's playing this Aerowalk remarkably well, and if strenx loses it, then I think we might be seeing a 2-0.
Okay, very well played there. strenx is going to pick up that Mega, but he's going to be taking a lot of damage for that, and Toxic's going to fall back onto the red. But Toxic read that so well because strenx is thinking, okay, he's going to stand on the Mega. Mega's spawning now, but Toxic waited for the attack angle of strenx through that teleporter. So intelligent, just predicting every move from the French player, and it is really reaping crazy amounts of rewards right now.
I mean, you can see it. strenx is struggling so hard. He's not able to just fight Tox away with his aim like he can do versus most other players. He's got to do something really sneaky. He's got to keep hitting rails like that where Tox isn't able to respond.
And this stack from Toxic, he's maintaining it very well, even in very advantageous positions for Toxic, good fights on his terms. strenx is still doing really insane damage. Like, he's doing a great job, even when Toxic's taking fights on his own terms, but he's looking too solid right now on the control. It's quite scary, because strenx is playing this smart.
Yes, yellow's going to be up. Tox, he's going to try and take that. He's got to be careful there. strenx can't slip over to the red armor. I think he's done an okay job. He's taking a lot of damage at the moment. He wants to get that 6th, but strenx moving in. One more rail could get him back on the board over here, and he's going to miss it. Tox extends the lead. And what the hell is strenx going to do now with all this control returning to Tox's hands?
Well, it can just come down to one moment, because again, it is Aerowalk, so strenx can find those strings of frags if he gets some crazy cool fight, I don't know, on Toxic, and it's completely possible. It's so low fragging. This could be one of the lowest fragging Aerowalks we might even see for the entire tournament.
Yeah.
I mean, it's quite incredible to see. And red has come up here, and the Mega's coming up soon as well. Toxic just maintaining position, trying to cut off strenx, and that could be the moment. With both big items up, strenx has the chance now to bring this back in his favor, to get those 3 frags.
I think Tox shouldn't have moved down from the red armor, but look at this. He's doing good damage once again. One grenade could help him out. Load right now. He hits the rail, so strenx is crippled at the moment, and he's no position on red. I guess he didn't know red was up the whole time, because that should have been the correct choice there. To fall back, get the red, establish control. But he did pick up a frag, but the problem is that Toxic is healthier than him now, and he's not got the best position in the world to try to take this Mega. It's going to be difficult, and you can bet your ass that Toxic is going to be there to try and stop him. Got the algae fight again. strenx is going to be able to win the Mega health. Tox is very quick to jump up to the red armor though. A rail for a rail. strenx gets to 25 so that he's not completely vulnerable at the moment. But Tox just keeps on shaving away that health from the French player.
This is now just going to come down to the shots. It's not going to come down to the decision making as much as the rest of the match, because strenx needs to get a kill very quickly now. In the next 30-40 seconds, he's going to need to find that frag, and he's going to try and make the play here. Fantastic frag from him, but it's going to be a mutual one. They trade, and 7-5 to score, and strenx does get the spawn for the red though, but there is the Mega, and Toxic is hitting some shots.
Look at Tox, he's looking for the rockets on the teleporter exit. strenx though, he's managing to survive quite comfortably at the moment. Tox finds the 225s. 60 seconds left. That still can be a lifetime here on Aerowalk. But Tox is the one. He hits the rail. I'm going to switch over to strenx at the moment. All right. Okay, I was losing confidence, but he's actually still really healthy.
He's in this. He is totally in this. He's got to try to find this difference. 45 seconds left. He just needs to get that one frag. The spawn frag should come fairly easily. It's all about this one kill. Can he get the angle? It's so awkward. There's one rail connected. Only 30 seconds left now for strenx. Oh, and he finds Toxic from behind and gets the frag.
Oh my god, I think strenx, he might be able to do this over here. He's been looking on the back foot for the whole of Aerowalk, but there's just over 20 seconds now. Is he going to get the red? Alright, this is it. This is charge time. strenx is absolutely on it. Tox, if you're going to go clutch, you're going to go clutch right now. Hitting some rockets through the teleporter, hopping between them. strenx, though, he's finding extra damage. This is now 10 seconds left. LG's going to pick up the kill. We've got a tied game, but is there going to be possibly an overtime, or is strenx going to try and shut it down right now?
He is missing a couple of rails there, but there we go. Overtime number 1 between strenx and Toxic on Aerowalk. What a thrilling game, and moving straight up the stairs. No respect at all for the LG of Toxic, and he's going to pick up the kill and the red armor. So strenx is looking fantastic in this, but Mega's far away. This is a great opportunity for Toxic to find some damage.
And strenx has got the wind in the sails at the moment. One rail from Tox could have got him the kill just then, but strenx gets the 25 health bubble just at the nick of time. Tox, he might be in a bit of trouble at the moment. He's going to use the teleporter.
So is strenx, though, very low. This Mega is so key.
And Tox, he can possibly back up to the red armor if he wants to. He hits a good rocket. And Rail could get the kill, but strenx's dodge just too strong at the moment.
Wow.
Rockets being fired downwards over here, and strenx hits the rail. That could be the game winner over there, but strenx simply doesn't have much health compared to his armor.
Man, strenx just took 3 chances at shots where he one rail and he dies. And that's what he just did to Toxic. No respect at all. I love it from strenx. There's 60 seconds left now. Toxic needs to find 2 kills. This Mega should be very easy for him to defend. So now Toxic is in the position strenx was right before the overtime.
Is strenx going over to the red army? He hasn't gone up there just yet. Tox really wants to get past that choke point. strenx, he takes the item, but we've got the LG rushed by Tox. What a rocket, though, by strenx. That is going to slow the Swede down.
Yeah, it's definitely getting worse and worse. Not looking nearly as good as strenx was earlier. And strenx, has he done it? Is he holding on to this very minute lead? 3 frags to the difference. Toxic trying to do something, but just denied by strenx's rockets. And that's not normally where you'd find the difference in strenx's game.
And he did it. It was a very tough game for strenx. I would say for the vast majority of it, Tox looked like he had it under control. But ultimately, strenx making back, and he's starting to pick up the frags here. We're going to be going over to map number 2, Sinister. But GG strenx for claiming his map.
Yeah, 14-8. I mean, that obviously doesn't do this game justice. That was incredibly tense. It looked like strenx was really out of it for the first 5-6 minutes. Like, it didn't seem like he could really respond to how solid Toxic was playing. But then he found, I mean, the frag count was really low, and he found his moment.
No, I mean, Tox played it really carefully. It just in the end, he gave him a whisker too much, and strenx was able to completely take advantage of that. But I think strenx is going to be massively relieved and not losing his map, Aerowalk. And Tox, he looked a little bit frustrated there. People maybe shaking the table a little bit. I mean, I think there's something like 8 players per table.
Maybe he's got 0-4 on his table.
Oh, God, you don't want to have 0-4 sat on your table.
Yeah.
Was Evil described it as an earthquake with the help of Google Translate, I think, last year. That
was exactly it. Yeah, that was great. I hope he's still using Google Translate to communicate to everyone.
Evil's English has actually improved a lot.
Oh, really?
Like, I had a full-on conversation with him and everything. So, I mean, Evil, he's practiced everything for QuakeCon, as you can tell.
That is good. That is good.
At the moment, strenx and Tox, they're sitting on Lost World, but I feel like we should be going to a Sinister. Yeah, and Tox is going to call over to
I wanted to see a campgrounds between these guys. That would be really good.
That would be very interesting.
That would be very cool.
We got a game over here, Sparty versus Demon. What map is that on? Have we just got a small update on that?
I think we're on map 2. I'm not 100% sure, so don't quote me on that. But we're on map 2. Sparty 7-1 on Cure, and it's almost over 2 minutes remaining. So Sparty is definitely looking really strong, actually.
I believe Demon did win the first map, so they're trying to keep it pretty tight at the moment. strenx and Tox, they're just warming up their LG a little bit more, and this is it. We're getting into game map number 2 between these big aimers here from Europe. And I think I'm going to watch Tox to start this one off. And he's just jumping straight down to Mega. No hesitation whatsoever. He needs to find his way onto that LG.
So we get the standard start here. And this LG, this is very common place to actually trap your opponent. But strenx not going for the trapping option there. And just keeping it cool. Wants position on the items. Not trying to play a crazy game with traps just yet at the start. He wants a stable start, and he's one position. Toxic, though, connects one rail, not able to connect anymore, so strenx should feel alright, but this Mega should be easy. Very easy for Toxic.
strenx down below. There's no way he can really get into the mega room from there, so strenx is just going to accumulate a little bit more armor. But we're going at LG right now. strenx has decided the fight is going to begin, but Tox just decimates him over there.
Interesting.
Have that. 54% again. Is that just the magic number for Tox's LG at the start of maps?
It is pretty good, but I feel like strenx misread his stack there. And because it was a fight where, okay, if strenx is against someone who's got more stack, and it's not Toxic, he probably wins the fight because his LG is so good.
By
but
default.
Toxic, yeah, he can actually compete with strenx in that regard. So strenx has to count these stacks a bit better, and now he's one frag behind, and Toxic is looking at really establishing a strong cycle really early on, and that can be really dangerous. So we get to get a peek into Toxic's control game now on Sinister to see how tight he holds onto these items, and equally how smart strenx can play it to avoid Toxic's pressure and to keep things going. But we know that this is Toxic's bread and butter, being in control. That is his strength. That's how he practices constantly.
I want to see him take advantage of that. I want to see him getting as many frags as possible with this crazy control that he's got at the moment. And it's very interesting kind of learning about what Tox's shape is like at the moment. Because literally, we've all been completely in the dark. We've seen no practice whatsoever because he practiced against the very low-tier individuals compared to what everybody else is doing with their QuakeCon practice.
Good steal of the red there, though, from strenx, picking up the red. So that's something. I think he received, 30 damage or something. Very minimal LG damage. So strenx is actually doing all right so far. He's sneaking in the gaps of Toxic's roots here on the map. And he's... Oh, good play from Toxic. Interception. And strenx is getting low now.
Oh, Tox, he's just let him get onto the red armor. Tox gets hit by a direct rocket as well. He might only just have one frag for all his control. Rockets are landing. He hits a rail, 20 health left, and he hits the next one.
No way.
Can you spell clutch?
Unbelievable clutch there, indeed, from Toxic, and picking up an easy... That looks like a frustration drop there from strenx. I mean, you can't call it anything else. That's a free one, a freebie for Toxic right there. And strenx, he played that so well, but Toxic... what are you going to do?
If you're going to hit the shots, you're going to hit the shots. I think maybe a bit of stress, but I think he's probably get the railgun, and maybe Tox is still railable, can try it. But Tox's LG just pushed him back. He didn't even have a time to make the switch in the first place. And I really thought that strenx was actually going to be able to win that fight. I think everybody thought that strenx was going to win that fight.
The way that he got back in was actually very, very cool, very methodical. And even though Toxic kind of cut him off, up at the rocket launcher area into the mega, still strenx did really well. And again, we're seeing these LG battles come out, and
so close the rail again, this time from strenx. He wants to bring it back, and again, such clutch moments from these players. And definitely Tox was not as dominant in that LG fight as he previously was.
It's great that strenx is just not afraid, and that's one of the things about strenx. It can almost be a fall for him sometimes because he's so confident to the point of he's got the ego going basically. It can be great in some situations, and other times it can cause a fall. So right now it's really important against Toxic that he doesn't get intimidated at all, because that's really easy to do against someone who hits absurd amounts, because it changes the game completely.
No, absolutely. And just some updates from some other games, guys. Apparently, Dahag beat Vraffa 2-1 in his first game, and Cypher beat Evil 2-1 in their first, those two pair of Group A matches that we had.
Sounds like just like last year.
It does. It's like a complete repeat.
And it looks like Sparty's one up against Demon right now on their tiebreaker on Campgrounds Intel. So Sparty looking pretty good. Demon's shape's getting better as well. But back into this game, we have strenx actually stealing away a mega. So it seems like we're finding some holes in Toxic's, or rather, strenx is finding some holes in Toxic's control, and he's really making a meal of it here. He goes pushing onto Toxic again with the LG, and again, no fear.
Oh, lovely rocket to rail. That's exactly what he wanted to do, and the plan couldn't have gone through it any better than that. Tox, though, he drops down the rocket, and that's going to be the tied game. He gives it up. strenx is going to have to wait a little bit of time for this yellow, and Tox is going to get his own. Let's see if he can get on the weapons quick enough to bring a good challenge to these major items. Oh, he's just a little bit too late, and he's going to give up another kill. He had the red armor sitting behind him. He thought he could knock strenx off the mega, which could have got him the frag had he done that.
It's surprising as well that strenx was a little bit slow there towards this red armor. You can see him coming into the room now. Probably has no idea when red was. After getting the kill, the mega.
He does not have it.
Oh, he has a missed time. That's a really big deal. And here, that could be even a frag for Toxic. Looks like that's going to be the case, all because of a missed time.
Music to his ears.
Oh my god, that's not how you want this to go, is it?
No. Let's see if we can get to the mega fast enough. Lower yellow's just been taken. strenx is going to be slightly out of position for that.
I'm cringing.
Giving a lot of respect to Tox.
I'm cringing. Because this is look at this, one mistake, and now Toxic gets a frag. He ties up the game. 200-200. Look at this, another frag coming in for Toxic. Surely some good rockets, but his stack is so incredibly large right now that it's not going to even make a difference. I mean, there's a bit of a dent, but red coming up, and how is strenx going to even challenge for that?
Oh, well, he's not going to the red. strenx, I think, was maybe expecting him over there, but aggressive plays here from the Swede is going to extend his lead a little bit. He's got to rush down that red very fast. 3 seconds to get back to Mega. Is strenx going to turn up? Nope, I don't even know if he actually has a clue when it spawns.
So that was quite nice. That was Toxic playing on strenx's expectations on what strenx knows that Toxic knows about what's happening on the map. He's thinking, okay,
sound so simple.
I know. He knows, okay, red is coming up. I know that Toxic wants to take that to keep the cycle going. And so by Toxic actually going for a frag there, he's playing on that that knowledge by strenx and catching him completely off guard. Because in a sense, strenx is thinking that because it makes sense for Toxic to keep the pattern going. That's valuable to him. But instead, he goes for the risky read and he actually gets the frag. So really nice play from Toxic, especially considering how close this is. Every little read counts.
Yeah, this is by no means a game in the bag for Tox at the moment. We saw what happened on Aerowalk when I think a lot of people may have expected that to go in favor of the Swede. Tox is playing at the moment to keep himself in this group game and get to the tiebreaker. And with 200-200, surely there's going to be more kills for him around the corner. Sneaks through a teleporter, strenx has disappeared. Where the hell has he gone?
And the great thing is that we hear no sounds because Toxic hears nothing, and that tells you that he knows absolutely nothing about the possible position of strenx. He can have some guesses, but and he's going to run into him.
That was actually quite a fair exchange of damage. I think Tox probably did about as much damage to the lightning gun as strenx did with that single direct rocket.
But strenx not picking up a lot of items right now. He can't really afford to make even trades against Toxic, so this is going to be a bit of a setback. And Toxic kind of baiting out this yellow a little bit.
He was just hoping, please go up the bounce pad. Please go up the bounce pad for an easy next kill. Tox is just going to let strenx take the red armor. I think this is good. He's got good position on the mega health. He just can't get knocked off it. There it is, extra 100 health for the Swede, and that is the 7th kill. I think that was a very simple move, to be honest, but it was so effective against strenx.
Yeah, definitely. Again, these guys not afraid to take these aim battles, and strenx, you know, that's how a lot of his get back in the game plays go. It's take these fights. Okay, maybe I'm going to be losing a little bit on stack, but my aiming is so good, my dodging is so good. I'm gonna take the fight, and that was a situation where it was a bit of a gamble, but it was a good shot. But now his stack is gone. How long did he take to build that? Like a minute, 2 minutes to build that. So it's the next big play for strenx is gonna be the only play for him to get back in this.
Oh, look at that. LG just pushes in. strenx doesn't have that weapon, and it's easy pickings here for Tox at the moment. And with not long left, Tox is just gonna pick up another one. This is becoming game in the bag now for the Swede. Pretty decent aim.
LG so strong.
Not the 54% we had earlier, but that just seems to be how he starts the duel, and then he kind of.
The crazy thing is when you watch him, LG, it looks so smooth. I think he's got some of the smoothest LGing of any player at all.
His aim is just very, very impressive altogether. Actually, I'd say slightly more impressive than strenx so far. Yeah. And it's a big discussion in the Quake community, like who has got that incredible aim, who is number one. And it's not strenx at the moment.
I feel like it's always going to be Toxic when he wants it to be. When he's active, I feel like it's always going to be Toxic. There is just something. I mean, back in the Quake 4 days as well, you know, that was, and also in OSP, you know, the old Quake 3 days, that was his reputation, is that he just had stunningly good aim, and that it was just no one could really even contest it because he just had the most consistent, most methodical, smoothest aim. It was just. I mean, there were some players that had great aim, like, you know, even Fox and so on, some of his compatriots, but still, no one could really touch him. And we're starting to see him return to that old form. I can't wait to see how it shapes up in the rest of the tournament. But so far, it looks really good. And 9-3, the final score there for Toxic.
GG. Well, 41-41. strenx is going to carry those stats forward for arguments in his favor of LG champion QuakeCon 2014. I think maybe we need a separate award so that these guys can compete over that. It's a prestigious award that these guys desperately want. We're going to be going over to Lost World now as the tiebreaker map between them. Just glancing over at this computer, it looks like Sparty with 2.5 minutes left on the tiebreaker map.
Yeah.
He's well ahead of Demon at the moment. So
he's an amazing campgrounds player, so that's no surprise.
Demon losing, though, his second game in a row. Demon fans are going to be shaking their head at the moment.
I think it's okay. I mean, it's still, you know,
it's
still
fine
warm
to
up,
make
you know, still getting
now.
into the rhythm. So it's going to be okay for Demon. It's not the end of the world. He's still got some time to get things together. But this affair with Strenx and Toxic is really getting interesting, isn't it? I mean, we saw Toxic last night, having some really close, in fact, beating Evil. Actually, what was it? I think he went 4-1 against Evil in practice.
Maybe even 5-2.
Yeah, so he was beating Evil kind of consistently last night in practice. And Toxic's a guy that lives for the stage. That's the only reason he's playing.
He wants to get to the finals. He's going to be happy with only the finals, and he wants to play Cypher in the finals. He told me. He's like, yeah, nice. He's like, okay, I've got it all set out. Obviously, he's taking one game at a time.
Because he wants to beat
his goal.
What he thinks is the best.
Yeah,
that is lovely to see. And I love that we have the cameras on the players. We're getting live into this one, but Toxic, he has a nickname, the Terminator, because he's basically a robot when he plays. You never see any single emotion just creep across his face. There's nothing.
I'm sure they're hidden down deep somewhere. we got this tiebreaker map underway, and we'll see if the Terminator is gonna just shine here to bring himself a best of 3 home. Strenx playing rather carefully. Just wants to get to that LG without too much confrontation, and now he doesn't really matter so much. Tox, if you want to get in my face, then I'm happy to have an LG duel right now.
So Strenx is just waiting to see if he can find a little engagement, maybe find Toxic jumping over, being silent, trying to find some sound cues. There he sees a rocket go over and just picking up items. It's just about getting some items right now. Both players on 0-0, just getting a sense of what's happening on the map, a sense for, okay, how big is my opponent's stack? Do I have all the weapons? It's very slow on Lost World to begin with. These guys, I mean, we saw Aerowalk between these guys. It was incredibly low scoring. We're probably going to see a similar thing on Lost World here. And I don't know how Toxic's shape is on Lost World.
We don't know his shape on any map. It's so difficult for us to tell, but I think considering what we've seen already, I can't say it. I can't imagine it's bad. No?
I don't think so either. And he works hard. When he prepares for tournaments, he works really hard. It is all business for Toxic. All business.
A lot of people criticize him for the way he practices as well. He only practices for slow-tier players, but for him it's all about knowledge, information. What do his main, top-level opponents think he's going to do? And he likes to play with the fact that they don't have that information on him at the moment.
Yeah, the way that Too Good described it to Dhorne in that interview was that he does this because he doesn't learn to play the play, he learns to play the game, and any other considerations about the play comes in afterwards. But it's about playing the game perfectly for Toxic, and Strenx is a great opponent for him to really test that.
Yeah. Still, we haven't had much fighting at all. They've kind of been prodding at each other. Bits of damage here and there. But zero commitment at the moment. And Strenx, he had a chance to push forward over there, didn't want to do it. Didn't want to go around the choke point and just receive a rocket or two to the head. And Tox is being very careful. I'm going to switch over to Tox. Strenx found him, but he managed to get out of that little area. He's not going to be happy to take a fight at the moment until he's got a lot more health or armor. Strenx, he gets the mega health, so Tox will have timing on that right now. It doesn't matter for him that he did hardly any damage, just that he saw the item getting taken. So maybe he can start planning a minute or two in advance as to when he can make a challenge for that mega health.
Yeah, and I love how slowly these guys are taking it. I mean, you can have battles like this on Lost World where it's both players just want to take fights on their own terms, and they just want to take safe fights always. So they always have a way to leave a fight very quickly if they want to. Like there you can see Toxic, he's open to do a bit of damage, but he can instantly just get out of there. And neither player will fight to the bitter end, to the death, until they know, okay, I'm gonna win this fight. So we can see matches like this where there's almost no frags for the entire game. And sometimes those are the most exciting games as well. Yeah,
just getting to see the strategy being taken into account. Oh, Strenx is just got completely taken off guard there. There's a lot of damage from Tox, and definitely a challenge for the mega health is well and truly in order for him.
And one thing to watch out for Toxic,
Whoa.
nice rocket, is that when he is shooting his opponents, he's really, really good at making the damage as efficient as possible. So denying any angles to himself. There we saw him get like loads of LG, and the second that he felt like maybe some damage could come back his way, he's cut off the angles completely. His tactical play is very, very strong.
He's just going to push in. He's taking a little bit of rocket damage, so he might be a little bit hesitant over here. But Plasma push forward to the LG. Strenx, he's put himself into a spot where he's got to commit. The 50 health bubble not going to help him enough. Tox takes first blood here on the tiebreaker.
Yeah, you can see that was a fight that Strenx really did want to take, and he got caught in the open a little bit, but it was really that Plasma that made the difference. That Plasma, and Strenx couldn't really return the Plasma. I don't think he had one.
It wasn't even much Plasma at all. That 50 health bubble
so 3 or 4 balls connected.
Won him the fight.
I think like 80, 100 damage done by the Plasma. It's such a good weapon on this map, actually.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And with no railgun either, I mean, it's one of the best ranged weapons that you have. I mean, 20 damage per bullet. It adds up.
It does. More than one imagines. Mega's up in a moment. Toxic's got to really make sure that Strenx doesn't steal this. Strenx does move down and get it, and he's doing a remarkable amount of LG damage. Tox backs off. Bit more pressure here from Strenx, but I think Tox got up fairly cleanly considering how bad it initially went.
Yeah, I mean, this sucks for Strenx because Toxic, the pressure coming on, and LG finish. He gets out of there, he can still rocket jump up and steal away yellow and take a fight. I mean, that's the problem there. It looked good for Strenx, and in some senses you could argue maybe it was, he did some damage, he got away, blah, 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 blah. But at the end, Toxic still has enough stack and he has a rocket launcher that he can get positions which still shut down Strenx.
Oh, that LG actually from Strenx was excellent. He got that Mega, he didn't lose all of it. A good play from Strenx, trying to get himself back in the game as quick as possible without giving up any more frags. I can tell that this 2-0 is going to take a lot of grafting.
So here Toxic trying to apply that pressure, get as much damage out as possible on Strenx, just using the position, but minimal damage found actually onto Strenx. So Strenx should be pretty pleased about this, and we can see his stack is starting to add up. He's starting to get those armors together. There's a yellow. He's going to feel confident about taking a fight. But a big deal for Strenx is going to be about having Mega timing, and I don't know if he knows when the Mega is. Of course, we see as the spectators all the item times, but the players don't get to have that counter on the side of their screens. They've got to do it in their heads. And so Strenx finding himself another red, but I feel like he's going to start thinking, man, it's about time for some Mega action.
I think that he may have left the Mega up on purpose. Let's see if he challenged for this one. It's going to be an interesting next 10 seconds. He's stepping away from it at the moment. He doesn't even really need this yellow. Tox certainly has better position for the Mega at the moment. Strenx looking for a way out. He's going to drop down. He spots it. He's a little bit late to do damage, and Tox actually gets a lot done then.
Yeah, I mean, the lifeline for Toxic is certainly the Megas at the moment. It's the only difference between these two guys, and that difference is enough to keep Strenx happy just running items and not confident to push in for a frag, and that's what Toxic needs right now. He needs something to tell Strenx not to fight him, because he's got a lead of 2 frags, and that is enough on Lost World. A lead of 1 frag is often enough on this map.
Oh, here it is. Drop down from Strenx. The rockets from Tox are beautiful, and he is going to take the next kill. Rocket jump up here for the red armor. Try and swing down to the Mega health. Strenx isn't going to be able to get there in time. He jumps down, hopes for the best, and Tox is just disintegrating him. I think suddenly the game's just exploded for Tox, and it's looking like a very clear favorite to win this tiebreaker.
It's so amazing to see Toxic's incredible shape, but on the same token, to be honest, Strenx has been playing really good as well. Like, he's honestly been impressing me. Like, he's looking much better than he was online, and he's making smart choices, and that's really the big thing for me. I want to see Strenx taking smart choices, and he's doing that. He's been doing that. It's just that Toxic is so damn solid. I mean, how do you...
You can't underestimate Tox. A lot of people have been very critical. I've already mentioned this, but DDK and I discussing on our way to QuakeCon, we really think Tox can do brilliantly here, and he's going to find another fight at the top. Easily his. He doesn't have much armor, but here it is. All of a sudden, control reacquired.
Definitely, yeah. So 90 seconds left for Strenx right now, but I don't see him bringing this back against Toxic right now. He has Toxic fairly low, but yeah, I put on my predictions Toxic at 4th for this event. And considering where he did, his DreamHack performance wasn't very notable at all. But we know this guy has one of the most incredible resumes in professional FPS ever.
Yeah, this isn't the Tox that went to DreamHack. This is a
the WSVG Quake 4 Toxic.
It could be, man. What kind of destructive stuff are we going to be seeing from him? This is it. This is going to be one more fight. Tox, he's going easy on Strenx. He's going to use the rockets and not the LG. 6-0 Strenx. Not even a single kill here on the tiebreaker. He's pushing forward. You can see the desperation, and he's making the right moves because there's just nothing else you can do.
Again, though, you know, I feel like Strenx actually could have definitely won this series. I think there's. I think this is probably a bad map for him against Toxic, but.
Yeah.
But there are loads of moments on all the maps where Strenx had so many good opportunities, or it's so marginal, or let's say on Sinister, you know, there's clutch rails from Toxic. You know, he's put to these against Strenx. He's put to the limit. He has to make these clutch shots to make it work, and that's phenomenal to see.
He's hit a clutch 44%.
Yeah.
Do you call it that? I don't know.
Pretty good.
We'll see some.
It's not clutch from Toxic. It is just business as usual.
Standard.
So here we go, last 10 seconds of this one, and it looks like Toxic is a clear winner here on Lost World.
Yeah, well, what a Lost World game from him as well. Not dropping a single kill, calling the GGs over there, 6-1. And his seed is maybe going to edge a little bit further forward than Strenx's at the moment, with just a mere 40% LG from Strenx. You are inferior to Tox. For now.
I'm still really impressed by both of these players.
Yes.
So this is I mean, this is just the groups, and you know, it's for the seedings and stuff.